What's going on? Welcome to Monologue Mondays with me, Marcus Woods. I am so happy to be here. So happy to have y'all here. Look, do me a favor. Go ahead and share this live right now. Share right now. Comment right now. Like and love it right now. Also, go over to Monologue Mondays with Marcus Woods, the actual Facebook page. I'm telling you, all the content is rolling over there. I'm doing all the shorts, the reels, all that good stuff over there. And speaking of shorts, go over to YouTube and subscribe to Monologue Mondays with Marcus Woods. I see y'all. The numbers is going up on the subscriptions of YouTube, and I'm excited. Y'all making me feel like I'm somebody, because I am somebody. That's what my mama would say. But so come on, jump on in there, and I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get right to it. Psych. How about August 7th? Why don't you set your reminder for A Good Man 3 starring Kamal Smith, directed by Joe Smith, and I'm also in there. I play the detective trying to catch good old Ethan. Y'all know that's his name in the movie. So it's going to be good. It's the third installment, and I really and genuinely believe this is going to be the best one. Not because I'm in it. Maybe I'm biased. Who knows? We'll see. Look, check it out. But I want to get into something, man. I didn't realize how much people don't understand auditioning. And at first I was like, I did a whole 8-week course for auditions, and it went really well. I had about 12 people in that class, and which I wanted. I really didn't want no more than about 15 because I feel like I can't give everybody the proper attention. And I will be doing it again. We're just waiting and picking the right time. But I will be doing it again. But I was like, man, only 12 people showed up. I was like, maybe everybody got auditions figured out. Boy, was I wrong. I just recently held an audition, me and another production company, and I realized a lot of people don't understand auditioning and auditioning etiquette. And it wasn't a lot, but it was enough. And if you're watching this and you were at that audition, don't think I'm talking about you, because you don't know when you came out and what I thought about you yet, because they haven't cast the whole thing yet. So I want to talk about it, though, because not only in my audition, in other auditions, there will be, you got to know what to do in the audition room, in the audition waiting room. You got to know what to do in the actual room when you're auditioning. And you got to know how to carry yourself and carry yourself with the casting directors, I should say. That's what I really want to get into. So let's break it down. And I'm going to give y'all the simplest form, and then I'm going to give y'all some details after that. So look, check this out. Auditioning is the job. Like, I want y'all to get that. Booking it is the bonus. Auditioning is the job. Every time you get an audition, be it self-tape or you get the opportunity to do it in person, let me tell you right now, that's the job. That's where casting is to see who you are. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, sometimes it's not always about talent. Sometimes they want to know, can I trust this person on set? And you show that when you're auditioning. You show that in the way that you audition. You show that how you set your self-tapes up. You show that by paying attention and following all the instructions and directions prior to the audition and when you get in that room. Now, I got to say this, because I feel like it ain't fair if I don't say it. I feel like I'm not giving y'all everything. When you see a casting posted, or you receive a C-mail about casting, about audition via self-tape, read the directions and instructions. I cannot stress that enough. I can say this now. When we posted our audition, a lot of people were saying, what's the information? Where's the location? Is this a paid gig? We clearly stated on there, just submit your headshot, resume, and demo reel. And then after that, more information would have been provided, because we're not just about to give you everything online. You'll get an email after receiving the information that we asked for first. Those were simple instructions that a lot of people missed. So just because you didn't follow those instructions, you jump in my inbox and ask me those questions privately, don't mean I'm still obligated to answer them questions. And not just me, any casting director, anybody that posted that audition, all you got to do is follow it. If all it says is submit, then you submit. And then once you submit, 9 times out of 10, really 10 times out of 10, they're going to send you all that information that you want to know. Most are not going to tell you especially if it's just a post or a flyer posted on Instagram, how much is paid outside of saying these are paid roles or this is a paid gig. Like you'll get that now in a casting from if you're going the route of your agent and things of that nature. Yes, they're gonna have a little more detail on there because that email goes straight to you, not the entire world. If that makes sense. Now some may vary, right? But even on casting, well, no, even casting networks and Actors Access, but still you have a private thing where you can go and search all that yourself. So some may vary. Everybody may do something a little different. But the most important thing, regardless of how it's done, follow the instructions that are on there. Please. It makes life easier for you and for casting, and it shows them that you know how to take direction and follow instruction. Okay, I wanted to say that first. Let me break this down and then I'll give you some of my rant. I know a rant is coming real soon, Peaches. Peaches is here. Peaches is here. Nice Media Studios is here. This is amazing. Y'all know I always shout them out. They do amazing work, and Peaches is the producer. Okay, so let's get into it. Great actors, they make a clear choice. A part of auditioning is making a clear choice when you do this. This is not the place where you kind of guess it, figure, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Make a clear, bold choice and just go with that thing. Let me give you some of these notes. One of the hardest things for actors to do is commit. When I say commit, I mean wholeheartedly commit. And I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman, when he did Get On Up, where he played James Brown, he walked into casting. Now, he did this. I don't recommend this for everybody. He walked in, because he's Chadwick. He walked in fully dressed as James Brown, hair and all, and walked in and never addressed his name as Chadwick because at that point, he didn't have to. They know who he is. But he was James Brown. They said from the start of that audition to the end of that audition, he was James Brown. Now, am I telling you just because you play a police officer to go rent a whole get a whole police uniform, a badge, a gun, a handcuff, a walkie-talkie, a flashlight, a taser, no, settle down. You ain't got to do all that. But what I am saying is be the character. If you got a little button up and you got a little badge, okay, cool, do it. That's fine. But if you don't, dress as close to what you think that cop would dress like on duty or off, or if he's a detective, or he's a plain clothes type of detective where you don't got to get do whatever, but commit. They're not. I'm gonna say this, and I said this probably when I first started this podcast. I went to an audition, and it was a callback. They had called us back to do the audition, and I remember when we came back to the callback, I was playing a pastor. Everybody monologue, or if you would have seen anybody doing a monologue, you're doing it like you won't even put your own spin on it. So if you are going to do a monologue that's popular, put your own spin on it. Give it the way you think the character may think, and that opinion of the character. But I say, don't do it, because they already have an opinion of that monologue, and they already remembering, well, that ain't how Denzel did it, or they're saying that's exactly how Denzel did it. Do something original, okay? And then the key about doing something original, first it has to be a good original. Even if you write it yourself. But the beautiful thing about doing originals, one, they never seen not too many people seen it. And two, if you write it yourself, even if you mess up, they don't know because you wrote it. All right, just remember that. When I started making stronger choices, and I can say this about something that I recently booked, I walked in, I said, this is my choice, this is what I'm doing, I'm not changing, I'm not overthinking, I'm just gonna go in there and be it. That's when I booked it. That's the one that I posted where y'all see me on the plane, going to my resort for my stay when I was out there and all this stuff. And it was amazing. But it wasn't until I said, I'm going to make this choice and go with it. Make a strong choice. These are a question I ask myself. I say to myself, do I believe what I'm saying? Do it sound like I'm really in this situation, whatever this audition is? Do I believe it? Do I really believe it? Or am I just reciting lines? Those are things to think about. And the more you think about that, that's the more authentic you become. Authenticity will take you further than trying to be the next somebody. Be authentically you. Be authentically yourself. Okay? Let's keep going here. I got to share this. One thing I've learned after auditioning for projects like Empire and all these other commercials and independent films, all these things I've done, casting can always redirect your choice. I say this all the time, and this happened while I was auditioning somebody, me and the casting that was there. If they say, I want to try something else with you, does not mean that you did bad. They just want to see something else. The moment you realize casting want to see you win more than you want to make sure you don't mess up and mess up this opportunity, you'll go into that audition room so different, y'all. You'll walk into that audition room and saying, okay, if they want to see me win, all I got to do is go in here and give my best performance. That is it. And I know this Monologue Monday may seem redundant or repetitive, like we already talked about this before, but keep in mind, I saw maybe over 50 people and maybe over 20 self-tapes. And I was just kind of like, whoa, people really don't know how to audition. And I'm thinking my little 8-week class, Peaches, was like, oh, okay, woo, woo, woo. But I'm like, oh, no, it's needed. It's needed. You know what I mean? It's needed because a lot of people don't understand it. But they can redirect your choice. And again, that's not a bad thing. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to remember this. Commit, and I'm going to say this one because this happens a lot. Do not apologize for your choices or when you mess up. I can't tell you how many times I was like, it's okay. You don't have to say sorry anymore. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. You don't have to say sorry anymore. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. It's like now you're looking for some type of validation. And it's like, yo, you're okay. Get up and go again. It's okay. Nobody's judging you off the mat. I allow people to restart because I'm an actor. Like, I get it. I get being on the other side of casting. Like, I get like, oh my God, I want these lines. Oh my God, can I go again? This, that. I get all of that. But where I am now, I don't say sorry unless I genuinely like mess up, like throw somebody off. I may say sorry, but I don't say sorry. And I also, I don't ask to restart. But if you get a chance to restart, take it. If they say, it's okay, start from the top. That is your moment to be like, yo, they really want to see something out of me. Let me gather my thoughts. I don't care if you restart again and you forget the line in the same spot. Figure it out. Figure it out, because you're supposed to know those lines front to back, because especially if you get them ahead of time. I'm not just talking about cold reads where they, you pull up and they give you something, you read it. That's a little different. That's a whole nother auditioning technique. But I'm talking about if you'd have had those lines for about a week or two, even if you had them for 3 or 4 days, if you had them for 2 to 5 days, you're supposed to know those lines. And in other words, I always teach this. Even if you don't know where you're at in the middle, you should know how to get to the end. You should know how to. My dad tells me this all the time, especially when I was younger, but it stuck with me. He said, no matter how you start, it's about how you finish. And if you finish strong, they'll forget about you messing up in the beginning. They'll forget about it. It was one young lady there. She auditioned for 2 roles. And her first role was kind of shaky. Her first one, but and I'm only saying this because I remembered it just a little. Her first role was kind of shaky, but I can't even remember what was shaky because when she auditioned for the second one, I was blown away. I'm like, dog, you should have just did the one and went home. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she finished. I remember saying to her, I said, way to come back strong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's how you should know how to get to the end. You should know that much. Come on, y'all. Y'all great. Y'all got greatness in you. But you got to start letting that thing come out. And you got to start really giving it time. Now, I am going to share this with y'all. This is not in my notes. I'm going to share this with y'all. Now sometimes you're just going to have a brain fart. You're just going to forget the lines. You're going to forget everything and all that. That's going to happen. But a lot of times when you're forgetting those lines, it's because you did not marry those lines. You didn't get to know those lines. You didn't get to know the character. You didn't understand the situation of the scene. You didn't understand what was happening in the scene. You didn't understand the time of the scene. And I don't just mean, was it 10 p.m.? I mean the time of the scene, the era of the scene. You didn't realize the scenario. Am I inside or am I outside? Those are all about knowing the scene and making a strong choice and what you're going to do in those things. So sometimes you didn't do the work. Just being honest with you, because I'm telling you, you don't want to hear this when you're in the room. You don't want to be. I told y'all about when I auditioned for this particular Chicago show out in Chicago, and I was interrogating this active shooter, and I was not interrogating. I was negotiating. I was trying to get him to not kill the hostage and come down. And it clearly says in the breakdown, he is on the phone with the shooter. And I walked in that room just like this. I was standing up, and I said, "Don't do it." I can't remember the exact lines, but I'm like, "Don't do it. We can work something out." And she stopped me mid audition. I ain't gonna never forget. She was a Caucasian lady, and she had this like blonde hair, little swoop to the side. And she looked at me with her legs crossed. She said, "Aren't you supposed to be on the phone?" And I said, "Yeah, I just didn't want." She said, "Thank you." I was like, I wasn't laughing in. My feelings was hurt. This is for a network show now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my feelings was hurt. So let me tell you now, and you getting your feelings while you are watching from your screen. And then when you go in that audition, you won't get your feelings hurt. You get what I'm saying? Like, so just come on. Commit to it. Go to it. Commit. Don't apologize. And the last one of that one is give something to work with. Show up prepared enough that they got something to work with when they do want to redirect you. All right. This one is important. Listening to everything. And listening is everything. When I say listen to everything that casting says. If they say, that's your mark, make sure you slate and start when you're ready. When they say start when you're ready, they really genuinely mean start when you're ready. However, I told you I've been in casting. We're seeing like we waited a whole minute and 30 seconds for somebody to get started. And I was just sitting there looking like, when they gonna start? And it was 3 of us sitting at the table. And this happened to be a part of this casting. And we all looking at each other. And then they had the nerve to have their eyes closed like this and just sitting like this. And I'm like, I'm looking over. I'm sitting in the middle. So I'm looking this way. I'm looking that way. I'm like, what are they doing? And we all like, I don't know. Should we tell them to start? I don't know. And I'm surprised they didn't hear us because our whispering wasn't that much of a whisper. And eventually, then they told us after they got started, they said, I really was trying to work up some tears. I'm like, if you don't start this, ain't nobody care if you cry. You just start the audition. Don't nobody care. But, you got to take your moment. But that moment is usually realistically, about 3 to 7 seconds. And I'm giving you the 7. It's really like 3 to 5 seconds to get yourself together, take a breath, and then go into it. But listening is everything. I'm going to break this down. Here we go. Sharon Bailey said this. This is a casting director behind Breaking Bad and You Better Call Saul. She says something every actor should write down. Listen to this. Listening is everything. Not waiting, but listening. And this is important because sometimes you get caught up waiting on your line. When you have a reader reading with you, be it a self-tape or in person, you just get caught waiting instead of listening. When we talk to each other in real life and you really paying attention, That's different when you ain't paying attention. You're on your phone or whatever. But if you're listening, you're actively listening, and you're hearing something and you're taking note and saying, okay, I hear that. Okay, I think I know how I'm going to respond to that, but let me listen a little more. You're actively listening. You're thinking about what's being said to you. You're feeling what's being said to you. I always tell actors this: the scene isn't happening when you're acting. The scene is happening when you're listening. That's when it's happening. So it's not about when you're going, when your mouth is going. It's about how are you listening. And you need to like really go back and look at self-tapes or think about the times you've auditioned. Like, was I actively listening to this character talk to me, or was I just waiting on my line? Those are two different things. So check into that and see that, okay? Here we go. This is where emotions change. And this is where relationships happen, and this is where truth lives, in the listening. You could, or how, if the emotion changes in the film, in the scene between you and that character, like those beats happen when you listen. So you have to listen. All right, this is key. Stop guessing. What do I mean? Stop trying to figure out what that casting director wants from that character. Y'all want to know a real secret? If they knew what they wanted, they wouldn't hold an audition. So don't try to get in their head like, they want me to be this, they want me to be that. They don't know what they want to see what you bring. Yeah, but well, Marcus, what you mean? It says he's anywhere between 30 and 45, ethnicity is black, this, that, and third. I've seen this happen so many times, and it happened at my audition. The people just don't know it yet because we still got to go through all of the auditions. I said, I think I'm gonna have to change it. I have to change this part. Because here I got it as this person, but now the way this person came in the room, I got to change it to this because to fit them. Their performance was so good, I'm willing to change what was written down for another. Oh, y'all not hearing what I'm saying. Y'all not hearing what There's a movie, older movie, called The Warriors. It's a really good movie. It was about these guys. They were in these gangs. You know, it was like in the late 70s, early 80s when they used to wear the leather jackets and they was in these gangs. And there was one guy in the Warriors. He's a tough guy. He was real, he was the aggravator. He was fighting everybody all the time. Even when they try to keep level heads, he wanted to fight. That character, I can't remember the actor's name, but about time I clip this, you'll see his face and his name. He walked into the audition. The character was supposed to be 6'2" and like buff. This man came in 5'10" and slightly trim. But it was the way he came in and was like, boom. And they was like, oh, we got to change it. We got to change it for him because he fits. And so they don't know what they want. Stop trying to guess. They're in here waiting on you to bring them something special. And the special thing is you. Once you realize your uniqueness, no matter if you're skinny, fat, tall, short, dark, white, her, him, it don't matter. Once you realize if you have a cut across your eye because something happened, if you have a lazy eye, your uniqueness is what makes you special. Do you think Forrest Whitaker do you think he cares that his eye is lazy and we know it and people joke about it, Forrest Whitaker don't care. Not only is he an Oscar winner and a SAG winner, this man has millions. And have you seen this man's wife? Gorgeous. He ain't thinking about us. That joker, he winking with the good eye. He ain't thinking about us. The shouts out to Forrest Whitaker. I would love to work with you one day. But he ain't thinking about us. He understood that lazy eye was his uniqueness. He just went with it. Oh, well, I'm bald-headed. Samuel Jackson was losing his hair when he was in Coming to America getting ready to rob McDowell's. Y'all remember that scene when he came in with the shotgun and Eddie Murphy tripped him? Arsenio Hall tripped him. Eddie Murphy, they stopped him from robbing the scene. He was losing his hair back then. Samuel Jackson was bald-headed, but whenever they need to put hair on Samuel Jackson, they just put hair on him. It doesn't matter. Like, what I'm trying to tell you is whatever's unique about you is your special thing. Own it. Just go with it. Own it, okay? All right, let me go. I know I went ahead of myself. Let's go back to stop guessing. Casting directors don't need you to guess. Don't worry about that. Like I said, they wouldn't have called an audition if they knew what they wanted. Just you bring your best version of it in the room, okay? That's it. That's all they want. Okay, let's keep moving. Here we go. Help casting see the movie. This is huge. Can they see you in the role? That's what you want to see. So even if you don't got a full script, sometimes you get auditions, they'll give you the sides and they'll give you the full script. If they give you the full script, I don't care if you have auditions in 2 days or 1 day, read the script. And here goes another nugget. Let's say you don't got time to read the script. You should at least be reading the pages right before your scene and the pages right after to give you a tone of what's going on. But I implore you, read the whole script if they give you the whole script, because you'll understand the tone better and where your character fits when you're auditioning for. But help them see the movie, okay? Casting isn't simply asking, can this actor act? They're asking, can I already picture them in this movie? Everything helps answer that question when you show up ready, prepared. You just, come on. You want the role? Do the work. Show up. Now, your wardrobe. This is important. And we talked about it earlier, but you do not have to be full out doctor gear. Now, if you got a doctor's jacket, put it on. You know, maybe do a doctor jacket in a V-neck, you know, maybe some glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it simple. Okay, I don't have that. All I got is a nurse uniform. Use a nurse uniform. That's fine, but you can mimic a nurse uniform. What I don't want you to do is like to go all out. You got the little, the wrap on your head, the mask on, you got the gloves on, you got the coat on, you got everything. Like, yo, you're doing too much. Now you're doing too much, because the scene didn't even say you was in surgery, but you got all that on. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do too much, but your wardrobe still needs to match. I'm gonna give y'all something that I do. Has it always worked? Nope, but it has worked when it did. Whenever I play a cop, I wear some shade of blue. Be it dark blue, light blue, some shade of blue, because most people think, police officers, they think blue. Most people. And so it's just like little hints like that. Whenever I do something where it's romantic, I'll wear like, depending on if it's like, okay, if it's during the day, I'll wear something where it look like I may be outside. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like, if I'm on a date, but it's not like dinner date, I still wear certain colors that are hip. That like I may wear a wine, or I may wear a maroon. Like I wear something that's close to red. I don't ever wear red because red bleeds on screen. But I wear something close to red just to give a tone of love. You get what I'm saying? Like I play to the script. So I make my wardrobe to the script, but that doesn't mean that I'm going full out. Now, if it say put on a suit, then put on a suit. If it directs you to do something, do what's in that breakdown. But if it don't go all out all the time. You know what I mean? Don't go all the time. All right, let's go. Your pacing matters. Pacing matters. If the character's supposed to talk fast, then you talk fast, just like the character's supposed to talk fast. You do it and you do it great. Boom. But if the character is shy or laid back or in control, that matters how you deliver those lines. And this is another thing too. Watch excessive blinking. There's times for blinking, but not too much. Because when we're listening, we don't blink a lot. We tend to stare, even if we don't know it. We stare and we're listening, and that's active listening. But usually a lot of blinking, it shows lack of power. Now, if you're doing that on purpose or lack of control, if you're doing that on purpose, cool, it works. But if it's something that you can't have control, that's something you got to work on. Okay, I just throwing it out there. But pacing matters. Also, your confidence, your choices, when that all helps you in an audition, okay? That all pushes you forward. Being confident. And I'm going to break that down in a second too. But I want to keep going really, really fast. I'm not trying to convince people that I can act, and you shouldn't be doing this either. I'm trying to make it easy for them to imagine me in a finished product. Embody that character. I'm talking about own it. It is yours. The moment that you get the audition, you're not saying, I hope they pick me to be this character. In the audition, you are it. It is your role. Nobody else's. I don't care if it went out to 100 other people. It don't matter. This is your character. This is your role. This is the performance. This is the job. I'm doing it. I'm telling you, when you take that mindset and moves away that desperation, that nervousness, that fear of, I hope they pick me, that I need their validation, it moves it out the way. And I'm telling you, and I'm going to say this too, your energy walks in the room before you do. When you walk in that room, people can tell right off rip if you're nervous, if you're desperate, if you're shy, if you know where you at, you know how to carry. As soon as you walk, your energy shows up first. So you gotta work on it. And the beautiful thing about having good energy or being confident, it ain't like you born with it. Now, some people may catch on early on, but it's something you can develop over time. So stop thinking just because I'm not Michael B. Jordan, they not looking for Michael B. If they hold an audition, do you think they looking for Michael B. Jordan? They'll just go get Michael B. Jordan. They're looking for something special. They're looking for you. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that your energy walks in the room before you do. Okay? That's how you change, and that's how you do it. You got to change. You got to have a different mindset. And I get it. Y'all want to know another secret of mine? I am naturally a shy person. You can't tell because I know shy person don't get book roles. I know that a shy person can't host a podcast and be shy at the same time. You can't do that. I can't interview other people and be shy on my show. Like it don't work that way. In some cases, you can't even make business deals being shy. They got to know you confident. They got to know. So you got to. It's something you got to work on. And this is coming from somebody who will go to the meet and greets and the mixers and be in a corner by myself and be like, well, I was there. Ain't shake no hands, ain't network with nobody. Some I was there. But no, you gotta get out there and you gotta build that confidence. It can be developed. All right, let me keep going. Here's something actors underestimate. This is crazy. Professionalism wins. Being easy to work with. You will get more gigs. You will book more roles when people know I don't mind working with them. They're not gonna cause me no problems. They're going to be professional. They're not going to show up late. They're going to know their lines. If we tell them to bring a certain wardrobe, they're going to bring it. If we tell them that they got to be here at a certain time for this day to get fitted for wardrobe, they're going to be there on time. They're never going to be late to set. They're never going to just be challenging me. I want y'all to go watch, speaking of that, challenging people on set or, how can I say it? Giving too much of your ideas on set. Go watch the series on Disney Plus. And they not paying me for this. This is just me telling you. Wonder Man. And you will see how in that show, when the character gets in the very first episode, and the character gets to talk, he books his role. He's like, this is my role. But he's so invested in the character to where he's telling the director what he should do. The first time he gives a suggestion, she's like, okay, let's try it. Then he gives another. Then he gives another. Then he gives another. This is what happens in the scene. And then the director goes to somebody else, and they go to him. He said, what's going on with this guy's crazy? He just keeps asking for different things. She said, oh, don't worry. We'll call who's in charge. And then they called who in charge. They said, let him go. Fire him. And she was like, okay. So they went to him, and he said, hey, you're done for the day. And she said it so sweet. He was like, oh, okay, am I coming back? She's like, no, you're done for the day. I was like, And when they tell you that you're done for the day, when they come across really sweet to tell you some bad news, you blew it. It was your fault. That's on you. If you go to set one day and you're supposed to be on set the next day and they call you and say, it's okay, you don't have to come back. You're done. You're done. You got kicked. I'm just laughing because I've experienced it. Not me getting kicked. I ain't never been that unprofessional. But I'm telling you, I've been to rehearsals, table reads, and on set, and the next day it's a totally different person. I'm like, whoo, must have went bad for them. So you don't want to be that person. Please don't be that. Go watch that. Go watch Wonder Man. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, professionalism wins every single time. I've been fortunate enough to work from network to commercial, TV, movie, films, all plays, all this stuff, and I've seen so much stuff. But one thing I've noticed, everybody remembers professionalism. They remember that even when you're auditioning, because this is what we're really talking about. Even when you're auditioning, don't ask too many questions. Just go. If you say, can I use this as a prop? And we'll say, yeah, go ahead. Okay, because in the script it says use this prop. We've already said go ahead. Why are you still, can I move this over here? Is it okay? And then, I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want people to go back and be like, this is why I didn't get booked on one of his things. But you should know. I gotta tell you because you should know. If we say it, so don't make the reader do more than what the reader is hired to do. Read. The reader shouldn't have to get out their seat. The reader shouldn't have to be next to you because you're supposed to hug them at this end of the scene and you need to physically hug them. Figure it out. We're watching you, not the reader. The reader's over here for a reason. The camera's on you for a reason. Now, I'm telling you this out of love because if it was allowed in my audition, don't think it's going to be allowed everywhere else. Don't do that. Like, never do too much. Do what you're supposed to do. Be prepared. Leave room for direction. Have a good time. Walk out the room. If they want to see more, ask you to do more, yes. But there's nothing wrong with asking for props. That's fine. But this is what I do want to tell y'all. Now, this didn't happen in my audition, but this is something I know happens. Be prepared if they tell you no, you can't use any props. Because if you practice using props during your audition, they tell you no, boy, is that going to throw you off. That's going to throw a curveball in your game. Like, now that is from experience. Can I use a prop? No. Oh, shoot, I'm supposed to have a coffee cup. I practice with a coffee cup. Well, I'm supposed to do it without the coffee cup. I'm over here going crazy, and that's what I'm doing in my mind. I'm not physically doing it, but I'm sure they saw my performance like, he's shaky. The comments say the reader trying to get booked. E, what's up, E? Shout out Erica. Well, the reader said, I'm trying to get a job too. What you talking? Hey, but I have seen that. Matter of fact, the reader was so good on now they weren't on my episode of Empire. They were standing in and being a reader for somebody else. And they literally hire readers, y'all. Like, they hire you to sit in and read if somebody else can't make it. It doesn't mean they lost their job. It's just they couldn't make it, and so the reader gets paid. It's a really good job. But because you get to see so many sets, so many actors, so many styles, it's a really good job. However, that reader ended up booking an episode on Empire because they read so good for the episode I was on. And so, hey, you call that reader up here if you want to. They gonna take your call them up here if you want to. They gonna get booked. Okay, here we go. These are common things that you should know, even for an audition, not just for set, but I'm gonna say them anyway. Be early, know your lines, know your slate. If you do not know what a slate is simply you saying your name, your height, and what character you're reading for. Now, a self-tape slate could be a little different. You may say, they may ask for more. They may ask for your name, your height, your location. Can you work as a local hire? Who's your representation? Like, they may ask a little more. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, they do ask your weight because they just want to know. You know, it depends on because on camera, you could look one way, and in person, you can look another way. So they're trying to visualize the full package of you. So if they ask for it, just do it. Do not ever skip something because you don't feel like saying it. Men, I've been noticing this a lot in my self-tape breakdowns, which is messing with me. Because I remember when I did not want a beard for never. I was like, I don't want a beard, I want a beard. Then I grew it out, and now I feel like I can't live without it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But however, they're asking more frequent. This is what it's saying. I'm going to literally tell you what it's saying. It says, get rid of the COVID beards. Casting wants to see your face. So either cut it down to like a shadow, but they're getting tired of seeing us with the big beards, believe it or not. And so, but think about it. In most of your films, you see people, they clean cut, or they may just have a goatee. You know what I'm saying? So, or if they have a beard, it's not these beards. I need a haircut. I don't let mine get this bad. But get it cut closer to your face. You can still keep it dark, but get it cut closer because they call them COVID beards. While we out here talking about I got my mane and all, they're COVID beards to them. They tired of seeing them. Now, ain't nobody gonna tell you that. I ain't heard nobody say it, but the last three, especially last three commercial auditions that I had, it say, if you can, get rid of the COVID beard. That's what they call them now. So I'm just telling y'all, I'm giving y'all the notes that they won't tell y'all, which I always do, which Peaches say y'all should probably pay for. But, yes, follow instructions. And then in the physical audition, be kind to everybody. One particular talent came into the audition room, and they meant no. It was a joke. We laughed it off, so they were good. But they was like, yeah, the guy downstairs said something, not realizing the guy downstairs was sitting to my left. And like the way they said it was like, and they weren't like demeaning the guy downstairs. They were just saying like that guy downstairs. And so he was like, he said, the guy downstairs. I'm the guy that it was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So we laughed it off. And I meant no disrespect. I just didn't know your name and this, that, and that. And I was like, I mean, it was good. There was no like disrespect or nothing. But I'm saying I'm saying the guy downstairs could be the very person that helped you get the role or not. Be kind to everybody. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the doorman. I'm talking about the receptionist. I'm talking about, would you like a water? Be nice to them too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna say this. Sometimes you can be auditioning in a building where there's multiple things going on, right? So you're like, okay, I'm auditioning this. You may be rude to this person in this particular area, right? Not being nice, not saying thank you, whatever, right? But they not have nothing to do with this audition over here. But you don't know that casting always audition over here. So they rent this space out. They know this person in this room over here because they see each other Monday through Friday. They gonna come over and say, that one person was so rude to me. Oh, it was rude. Okay, well, we'll remember them. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna even get them a call because you don't even know who this person is. This person that's sharing the same building could be a producer of the film that you auditioning for and you don't even know it. Be nice. No, be kind to everybody. You don't know. Be kind to other actors walking in the room. You don't know if that actor knows somebody. You don't know. Be kind to everybody. You're auditioning all the time. From the start that you park in that parking lot. Be kind to everybody in the parking lot. Be kind to everybody at the front. Be kind when you get in that room, that waiting room. Be kind to everybody in the thing. I just wanted to make sure I tell y'all that's very, very important. Y'all be asking me for tips of the game. This is the game right here. Okay, I got to keep going. Your reputation enters the room as well as your energy before you do. We kind of talked about that, but no, we said your energy. We need to say this. Your reputation enters the room before you. Yes, it was some people that I saw. They was like, "What up, Marcus? What's up?" You know, I'm cool with that. I'm cool. As long as you ain't doing too much, though. And nobody did with me, but I'm just telling you, don't do too much. Don't be like, "What up, Mark? How you? What's good? How you feeling, baby? You got what you're doing after that? You're doing too much." What up? What up? Good to see you is enough. That's it. And shaking hands is cool. If they cool with it, then go ahead and shake hands. That's okay. But I'm saying everybody's not like that. Some people are germaphobes. They don't want to shake your hand. So if you don't feel that vibe, read the room. That's what I'm gonna say. Read the room. If you don't feel that vibe, like you should shake a hand and this, that, and the third, just go ahead. It's okay. Because the last thing I want you to do is to reach your hand out and to shake like, how you doing? And they look at you like, mm-mm. Or they say, I don't shake hands. I'm telling y'all the stories that I have for you. That might be a whole nother thing. I need to do a whole video on the stories that I have for you. Because I'm telling you, you'll be embarrassed. Your feelings will get hurt and it's going to rock you. You ain't going to be able to audition properly. Okay, here we go. We almost through here. Build a career, not just a booking. Auditions are gonna come and go, but there also are the training, the muscle that helps you build your career. So don't just look at it like, I ain't booking. So I had one. Now I can't say this, and I will say this because I saw this and it was under the audition that was posted, and this particular young lady had put on there, I never get booked for anything, but good luck for the audition. Now I don't know this individual personally. I don't even know if where they stay or nothing like that. But when I saw that, I messaged them and I told them, I said, you're defeating yourself before you give yourself a chance. I don't care if you haven't booked in a year. Go audition. Go audition. Send a self-tape in. Y'all remember I had Joe on here, Joseph Phillips. He had talked about how, he had auditioned for what's that Denzel and Spike Lee movie, Highest to Lowest. But he talked about prior to auditioning for that, how he auditioned for the Superman movie, the one that had just came out past summer. And well, I'm gonna say it like he said it. He saw it and it wasn't quite Superman. He couldn't because they didn't want to give up the title of what it was. And he auditioned. He said, I was gonna audition for it, but I was just like, man, I ain't right for this role. I ain't gonna do it. And then he said he went to go see Superman. He said he kind of he knew it was a superhero movie, but he couldn't figure out exactly what. And then he said, man, I went to see Superman and I'm watching it. And the guy saying the lines that I auditioned for, he said, I missed out on Superman because he thought he wasn't right for the audition that his agency sent him. Stop it. Stop it. Don't defeat yourself. It's not about the booking. The auditions are a part of building the career. The booking is the bonus. It's like going to work and you know you're going to get a check, so you go to work. But then when your boss gives you a raise or a bonus or a holiday bonus or whatever, that's like, oh, cool. It don't mean you get the bonus and you quit your job. Go back to work. Same thing with acting. The bonus, going to work, auditioning is the work. Acting classes is the work. Reputable acting classes are the work. You know what I'm saying? That's the work. You do that. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. Okay, let me keep going. These skills can be learned. We're talking about the confidence and all this stuff, but these skills too. Here's what excites me the most. Here we go. Every habit we talk about tonight, everyone can be learned, all right? Confidence, listening, preparation, probably one of the best. Listening and preparation is heavy. Professionalism, making bold choices. None of these are gifts, y'all. These are things that can be learned. You can learn them in acting class. You can learn them by yourself. And this is what I'm going to tell y'all. If you don't have the money for acting classes, at some point, get the money for acting classes. Peach is laughing at y'all, but it's the truth. Like, I can't stress that. That is the post. That is the stat. Like, you know, but at some point, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have money for what you want to have money for. But until then, there's books, but you're gonna have to have the money for. There's books, there's YouTube, there's Google, and there even is some AI tools that you can use to practice and become a better actor. All the excuses we used to have, I don't live in New York. I don't know LA. I can't make it to Chicago. All that's out the window. COVID actually changed that for everybody. You can be living in Alaska and audition for Marvel, and they in New Mexico. All excuses gone now. Technology changed our excuses. It's about how bad you want it at this point. How bad are you willing to get better and to learn more? That's on you. You got to do that now. Don't get in my DMs or anybody DMs for that matter talking about, so how can I be in a movie? First of all, that is I was about to say something mean. That is it's not the right way to go about it. Not just writing in my inbox or calling or texting me just because you know me, how can I be in a movie? That ain't it. Just because you saw me in a few things or saw somebody in a few things, like, hey, put me in a movie. Put you in a movie. So you want me to skip over casting. You want me to say, forget what the writer did, forget what the director wants, forget everybody else that auditioned and just throw you in that boy, huh? My brother was in a movie with me and he had to audition for it. Y'all hear me? My brother. My blood brother. And I asked by the director directly, can your brother be in this film? I was like, yeah, he be in this film. I ain't know if he's gonna do it. I'm just like, yeah, we trying to be the Wayans. Come on. And the next thing that director says to me, she said, okay, he has to audition. I was like, okay. I ain't about to blow the opportunity for my brother. Yeah, he gonna audition. I came like, you want to be in a movie? You gotta approach people, right? You want to be in a movie? Yeah, I'll be in a movie. Okay, you got to audition. I got a what? Yeah, don't worry about it. We gonna do it together. You gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? But come on, y'all. It's more to it than that. It's more to it just getting in front of the screen and saying lines. If you're serious about it, you got to be serious about it. Even filmmaking, it's more to it than just holding the camera and record. There's an art to this stuff. That's why people make millions, if not billions, doing this stuff. It's an art to it. Okay, so those things, you can learn all of those things, every last one of them. I got to say this too. Talent opens doors, right? Talent gets you seen, but being professional keeps the door open. Talent gets you seen and opens doors, but being professional keeps the door open. I'm gonna break that down what I'm saying. This may be like the most important thing I'm gonna say. One of the most important things. Okay, you cannot control who books the role. I'm sorry. I can't control who books the role. When I audition, I can't control who books the role. It don't matter, again, your height, your weight, your size. Some of that stuff is out of I heard of people not getting a role because they look like the director's ex-girlfriend. Great actress, but they like the ex-girlfriend. What you gonna say to that? If they just broke up, he don't want to see that. He don't want to see that. And then, you know what? Let's go a little closer. Now, this is a theory. This may or may not be true, Peaches. So this is just a theory. If you haven't noticed, I was so geeked, I was jumping out my seat. They have cast the new Black Panther. His name is David Johnson. Now, I didn't know one of his things, and I didn't know him prior to Alien Romulus, and I seen him in The Long Walk. When I saw him in Alien Romulus, I said, who is this guy? He's good. But then when I seen him in The Long Walk, I said, he's a phenomenal actor. So when I looked up a night or so ago, and saw that that Ryan Coogler was announcing him as Black Panther and coming out of Comic-Con, and he came on that stage and he was crying and all of this stuff, I was like, let's go. And people said, well, what happened to Denzel Madras? What happened to Denzel? And he did all this great work. He's such a good actor. The one that's dating Lori Harvey, right? Now, this is a theory. Michael B. Jordan is Ryan Coogler's boy. Ryan Coogler is probably one of the best directors of our time, with about 5 movies under his belt, which included Michael B. Jordan. All of those films. Michael B. Jordan used to date Lori Harvey. He was about to marry Lori Harvey. But then Denzel, he started dating Lori Harvey. Now, I'm just a theory. Why would Ryan Coogler hire Denzel if he's with Lori Harvey, who was about to be married to Michael B. Jordan? I'm just trying to show you, sometimes you don't get the part because of circumstances. It's out of your control. Don't mean you ain't great. Don't mean that you ain't talented, but sometimes it's circumstances. Sometimes you don't get the role because they see somebody different. Sometimes you don't get the role because the producer knows somebody, the actor knows somebody that knows the producer, and that gets them in the room. It happens, but it's okay. You keep going. It's not, get that part off of you. That's not on you, okay? You can't control that part. That's not you. But what you can control is how prepared you are. How you can't control your looks now. I gotta say this. If you're really skinny and you want to gain weight, you can eat a little more and you can lift weights. You can do that. Even women. Ain't nobody telling you to come in with the Angela Bassett arms. Everybody ain't got it like Angela got it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody forgot that Angela was a model first. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't come out. I feel rude calling her, and I feel like I should call her Miss Bassett because I feel like she's my elder. You know what I mean? But she started off as a model first, so she worked her body to get to that point. And when we've seen her in all these movies, and she had the arms. Okay, but you can still go to the gym, because I'm telling you, health is wealth. How healthy you ain't got to go in there and try to be Miss and Mr. America. You ain't got to do all that, but you got to be healthy. You got to be healthy. Okay, so you can't control your image. You can control your image. You can control your hair. You can control how you present yourself. You can walk in and be professional. Those are things that you can control. And you know what else you can control? Your mindset, which is probably the most important thing that you can control. It's up here. How you believe you, how you believe in you, how you know this is for you. Even if somebody's trying to tear you down and saying you never will. You know how many times I'm pretty sure everybody that we watch on TV told them that they couldn't, or you're not a matter of fact. Since we talking Marvel, let's talk Robert Downey Jr., who we all know as Tony Stark / Iron Man. Now he's Dr. Doom. Here we go. He started off as a young man. His dad was in the film business as a director, but he used to even get drunk and high with his dad. He abused all this stuff, even while he was making films as a young man, as a teenager. Robert Downey Jr. ends up going to jail because he was so reckless and everything like that for a nice amount of time. Then came back out. Nobody wanted to work with him because they said all you do is get drunk, start fights, argue. You an addict. We don't want to work with you. Then Marvel said, you know what? Let's give this guy a shot because he can clean himself up. He's doing his best. Let's give him a shot. If Robert Downey Jr. couldn't nobody else see him as nothing. You know what I'm saying? But then he had a shot because he was prepared. He didn't let what everybody else thought about him hold him back. The man now he's forever etched in stone, especially as Iron Man. He's forever etched in stone as one of the greats in Hollywood because of his comeback, because he didn't let what people thought about him or his past period hold him back. He controlled what he could control. Yeah, you can look me up and see that I'm a felon. I got a record. But yeah, while you looking back, I'm moving forward. You get what I'm saying? So like, come on. You can do this. I can do this. We can do this. Like, let's do it, okay? So just don't let nobody stop you. You can't control what you can control. That's your attitude. That's your mindset. That's you keep going, your perseverance. You showing up every day. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this, because so many actors quit right before they break. And sometimes they feel like just because they've been doing this for 2 years. Tupac wrote 501 songs. Tupac. Only 2 of them were charted top Billboard. This is Tupac. Y'all, like, you get what I'm saying? And you tired because you only tried for 2 years. Come on. Get up. I know. Trust me, I'm an actor. I get the dark times. I get the, what am I doing? Let me just throw all this away. Ain't nobody looking for me. I get it. I done got a little bit older. I done gained a little weight. I get it. But then know what? Go live a life that you really don't want to live and be miserable, or be Coleman Domingo and show up and now you and everything. Now you Joe Jackson in the Michael move. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. So figure that out. Figure out who you're gonna be. Figure out what you're gonna do and keep rolling and keep going. Because I believe you can make it and you could do it, but you gotta start off right. If it starts at the audition, you gotta have audition. Now let me tell you just quickly about etiquette. Etiquette. Don't come in the waiting room loud, especially if the waiting room ain't far from the actual auditioning room. Ain't nothing more embarrassing than somebody coming out and saying, can y'all be quiet because we're auditioning, like you ain't here for the audition? It's embarrassing. So be quiet. You could talk, especially if you see somebody know. But usually, even when I see people I know, I'm gonna tell you this quick story. So I was doing my acting class. My acting class was every Tuesday, my 8-week audition mastery class. Every Tuesday. After the acting class, I heard from the students in the class that there was this audition for this thing. And they was like, you should go. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go, da, da, da. And so I was like, you know what, let me go. I said, I got stuff in the car. I got headshots, all this, I'm gonna go. So I went and I seen 2 of my students. One of the things I told my students was, I said, now when I audition, I said, I don't care if my mama walk in the room. I'm like, hey, ma, and then I lock back in. I said, because this is me, this is what I do. And so 2 of my students saw me. They came over to me. Hey, coach. Hey, how you doing? They call me coach. That's not my thing. I just call me Marcus. But hey, coach. Da, 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 da. And when I tell you, I was like, hey, y'all. And right back in the lines. And after a while, I think they felt me like, oh, he wasn't just joking. Like, this is what he really did. Because at this moment, I'm an actor auditioning too. And so I got to lock in, because if I don't lock in, you may get the role before me. And it's not that I'm competing with you, but I got to show them the best version of myself. I can't do that. Now, when it's over and you still out here and because I'm not going to interrupt your process either, and you didn't audition too, and we both, I'm going to be like, what's up? You might not, what's up today? We could, but not while I'm trying to work. Nah. See, because my mindset is the audition is the job. That's always my mindset. Somebody told me that, matter of fact, I was filming something else 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about a week ago. I was on set for 2 days. I think I got 2 more days before I'm done. But and I ran into somebody and he said, man, your career is blessed. And I said, thank you. I said, I am blessed to be in the right rooms with the right people. But I said, it took work to get here. I never think it's just handed to me. And then a lot of times when it look handed to you, people don't see the work you didn't put in behind closed doors. They don't see the no's. They don't see the depression. They don't see that you about to quit. You about to quit every other month. They don't see that. You know what I'm saying? So it may look like my career is my career is a blessing. I know it for a fact. God walked with me through this thing. But I got to be honest. I can't say that it's just God walking me through. Even the Bible say faith without works is dead. So I still had to put in work. But I just put in work towards what I was doing. And y'all can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You could do the same thing. But get the etiquette right. Walk in that room properly. Walk in there, be confident. Let your reputation and your energy be right. Because you don't want it. And do your job. That's it. Peaches, we got comments. I'm about to get out their way. Yes, his name is Justin. That's his name on what's up? What'd he say? That's my guy. I appreciate it. Congratulations. Okay. That's such a good point, because we talked about this. And I can say this because he's on here and he said it and he posted publicly all the time. He said, to get the roles I want, I knew I had to lose the weight. This is an actor that I know that we're in a movie called Co-Parent together. He said, and we actually share scenes together. And he said, I had to lose the weight to get the roles that I wanted, because I realized that the way I look was not getting me the roles that I wanted. Come on, do the work. The man is booking like crazy now. Do the work. You know what I'm saying? So just do the work. Anybody else? Oh, me neither. But Heather, what up though? Shout out to you. Although think okay, I'm gonna check the comments after the show. But look, I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to be great. I don't care if you just started acting or you've been doing it for 20 years. Like, just keep going. You can always reinvent yourself. You can always be better. So anything that I'm saying is not redundant. It's sometimes it's a reminder. Sometimes it sharpens you again. Sometimes it keeps you going. So I want you to keep going. Don't forget to go subscribe to Monologue Mondays on YouTube, and don't forget to go to the actual page and follow that page as well. I really appreciate y'all. We're doing great things. Don't forget August 7th, you can see me in A Good Man 3, starring Kamal Smith, directed by Joe Smith, no relation. But go check it out. I think it's going to be a great one. Y'all show love when I posted that one. I'm talking about they show love. Peaches, it was crazy. Like 200 something shares. And I said, oh, yeah, either y'all like me and Kamal or y'all like Kamal. Either way, I'm riding the wave. but but I appreciate y'all though. So I know y'all really want to see that one. And I know that his fans has been watching 1, 2, and 3. Go back and watch 1 and 2 so you can understand what's going on in 3. But it's going to be a great time. Great things are happening. I appreciate everybody that did come out to our auditions. Y'all made this hard. So to really make some decisions, if you did send something in and you showed up to the audition, or if you sent a self-tape in, trust and believe we'll get back with you really soon. But yeah, I appreciate y'all making this thing happen with us. And that's been great. Y'all come check out Nice Media Studio. Maybe you want a podcast that you give your opinion and your experiences on there. Or maybe you want a podcast to compete with my podcast. I don't care. As long as Peaches get your money and your support, just come on through and support Nice Media Studios. They do great things here. They accommodate you across the board. They take care of you, and you just be professional. That's all they ask. You know what I mean? But they'll take care of you. Don't forget, if you want to cash app a brother, if you want to support everything that I'm doing, you want to support my production company, you want to support Monologue Mondays, and you just want to support Marcus Woods, you can cash app me at $Marco Woods 11. That's $Marco Woods 11. And I really would appreciate you. Y'all help me keep this thing running. And I appreciate y'all. I do. I really, really, really do. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'll be like my daddy. I'm just talking now. Oh, is it back on? Oh, man. I ain't know that's what that did. Okay, now I know. But look, in the great words of Denzel Washington, I want to say to you, I'll see you at work. Good night.